Hi, here we have an example of an old transistor radio which was picked up, needless to say, at a boot sale. It's been put in to show you what the condition is often like when these turn up. You look for various things. In this case, the main thing is to check that there's no damage to the case or the dial or anything else that sort of would really mar it. Alright, you expect to get a bit of dirt. This set was Philips L3G01T, and they were manufactured in the 1960s. That is an estimated date. It may have been before that, but we think the 60s. And looking at it, I would say it was one of the first transistor sets that Philips produced. Everything is cleanable. It's been put on just to show what turns up at boot sales. A lot of people would look at it and say, cool, that's filthy, I'm not going to touch it. But I looked a bit further and looked for any damage. The nameplates there, the two knobs are both there, the glass or the plastic in this case is intact, and all the actual information is clear. It is not worn, it is all there. Off, medium, long, all transistor. Coming to the top, you have your three press buttons, and as you can see, the set's obviously been standing up somewhere and it's accumulated quite a bit of muck. But it's all there. It's all cleanable. And once that's cleaned up, you'd have a nice little set. Looking at the back, and I've cheated here, I've taken the back off. That too is intact. There's no damage. See, it's made up of hardboard. It's all there. That was where the battery was, and it's only a bit of sponge rubber. The clips that hold it into the base, into the back are there. It's all there. Also, the carrying handle. These items often got broken or they went missing. This one's intact. It is the correct one. Alright, there's a bit of rust where the metal bits hold it in, but it's all cleanable. The only thing I did notice about it, on the side there was a little hole, and what I think has happened there would have been a car aerial plug or socket. So you, in those days, if you had a car, you'd have the car radio aerial, and perhaps not a built-in radio with the car. You just have the aerial, which you would take while you're driving along. Well, not while you're actually driving, but you'd plug it into the hole there. Well, that part looks like it's been taken out and missing. Well, there's no problem. They turn up, so that's not a problem. Anyhow, this is all before having a look inside. You look at all that. What you expect to see inside, in a lot of these cases, is where the battery was. You normally expect to find a load of gunge where the battery's been allowed to leak over the years. Well, this one, you can see it's lovely and clean. There was a battery in it which I took out. It had seen better days. Or I know I've joined a couple of wires in there for testing purposes, which we will try later. There was no indication to the actual model number I had to find that out by a little bit of research, but on Google this particular model comes up and shows, and there's loads of people talking about them. In general, it looks like it was a very good set, well made. We'll have a look at the insides, which I've done before in the past. This is, as I say, the next thing to look at. Check that there's no damage done. These are the intermediate frequency transformers. You've got the oscillator core, which I think is that one down there. Have a look, make sure someone hasn't come along with a blooming great screwdriver and graunched the little ferrite slugs which go in the middle. And looking at those, they have never been touched. The last time they were touched was when this set left the actual factory. It was an English made Phillips, so it was probably made in Mitcham or somewhere around there, Mitcham, Croydon. Have a look at the ferrite rod. These sometimes get broken. Well, that one's intact. It's never been touched. Where the cores have been set, they've been glued with a little touch of glue. That is original, never been touched. The other core there, you've got your long wave core and your medium wave core. It's got 2 wave bands. Long wave, medium. The tuning capacitor. Well, it may look a bit grubby, but believe me, it's intact. There's nothing wrong with it. All the components appear to be there. There's no one taken transistors out or any of the other pieces out, and it hasn't been touched. Now, saying that, often the capacitors go down. Well, these are the original ones, made by Plessey. The square block there is the loudspeaker, or rather the loudspeaker casing for the permanent magnet. By today's standard, it's very good quality. The speaker's made all the difference. It's even got the original labels on it. Made in Great Britain. There we are. Now you stay down there. I've got a visitor coming up. He doesn't look, or she doesn't like me to be doing these while I'm not making a fuss of her. So if she appears, it's one of the pussycats. Yeah, I know. I know. Anyhow, the 2 transistors you see there are the output pair. They're a matched pair, normally an OC81, and you've got a driver which is over there, which is that one there. They're both with the metal tin cans wrapped around them, as opposed to the OC44 type, which, where is it? Can't find it. It is OC44, they were glass. But the metal ones were glass inside, just with the extra metal case around them to aid heat dissipation. And as you can see, the output pair are always mounted, or invariably mounted in a heat sink, so you dissipate the excess heat. You've got a transformer. It looks like a transformerless output. You have your driver transformer, which feeds direct into your speaker. You sometimes have a speaker transformer as well, but in this case there doesn't appear to be one. Looking inside, you've got your set of contacts. Have a look at those also. They are things that can break. Once again, these are intact. There's no problem. Alright, they may be a bit grubby, but a bit of switch cleaner works wonders. Also, if you get a noisy pot, a potentiometer, volume control, squirt a bit of into it, wiggle it around a few times, it's as good as new. Don't overdo it, and try not to get it on your drive cords. If you get it on the drive cords, they will slip, and you have quite a problem. I'm trying to do two things at once. I'm trying to keep a pussycat away. Come, you go down there. Sorry about that. Anyhow, that's the set. Next thing to do is to take it home, which I've obviously done. Check your voltage. This was 9 volts. My little power unit there, which I've got. Come, will you get down? Come on. A little power unit I've got. Set it to 9 volts, which it is. Set to 9 volts on volts. Wire it up and give it a whirl. It might work, it might not. You notice as we turn the potentiometer or the volume control, it's a little bit noisy, but not excessively noisy. Remember, this was made in 1960, so it's entitled to become a bit noisy. I haven't done anything with any of these bits. That is as found at the boot sale. Change your stations. Also note that the needle goes along when you're doing this. You can see it right at the end of the dial. See if I can get it show on the end there. You can see it moving along.
In Tooting, she's got in touch. Merry Christmas, Naj, Daniel, and all at Avenue. And also, it's the 8th. You absolute genius. Let's give gifts.
This is your broadcast band, or medium wave.
Price on fine fragrance at Boots.
As you can see, plenty of stations, plenty of volume. Now go on to the long wave. I think we're on long wave now.
Brought back to England.
The buzzing is due to the light here.
At that point in time, I was the youngest
I'll turn it off.
for West End musical. It will be some time before Jeff worked again on a similar project.
So I've turned the main light off
and began working
and the buzz goes. Now that's on long wave.
For radio and television.
So it's working on both
One of his
wavebands.
earliest collaborators was David Essex.
Both of us wanted
As you can see, all in all, a nice little set, ready to be cleaned up. The best way of cleaning this is with a little toothbrush or a fine soft brush. Get in all those nooks and crannies, hook out all the muck, clean these things, the buttons, and end up with a nice little set, virtually a collector's item. Anyhow, that's all I've got to say on this set. Any questions, please ask. Please comment, please subscribe, and once again, many thanks for watching, and happy Christmas to you all. Thank you again. Thank you.